Well, hello everyone. Welcome into the live stream here. Welcome into the live stream right now. We are tracking a little bit of a severe weather threat kind of continuing on right now. Down here in the southeast, we're paying attention to, as you can see, a line of thunderstorms right now stretching all the way from southern Tennessee all the way into central Alabama here. And majority of those bigger storms are kind of in the front of this, and that's kind of what we're going to be seeing tomorrow as we go through Oklahoma and Texas as well. We'll talk about that and we'll touch up on this here for the next hour. So welcome in right now to the stream. If you guys have any questions, make sure to leave it down in the chat down below. Also, very exciting news. Make sure to join my Discord. That is brand new. Make sure to join the Discord. It is in the chat. So just click the link and you guys will be able to join that. It's going to be a great community. Be one of the first to join in. Be one of the first to join in the Discord. So let's kind of talk about what we're looking at right now. Let's kind of go from the north to the south here. We'll go through each severe thunderstorm warning. Once again, no tornado threat or anything like that, so that's some good news. We're going to touch up on a couple things. We're going to touch up on temperatures that are going on right now. We're going to touch up on some of the models. We're going to touch up on a couple of things here. So let's take a look right now here going on in Tennessee. Severe thunderstorm warning all the way over here to the north. So this is a this severe thunderstorm warning right here. Let me see if I can there we go. Severe thunderstorm right here, McMinnville. You guys are under a severe thunderstorm warning here probably for the next around 40 minutes. You guys are going to be under this severe thunderstorm warning here for the next 40 minutes right now, as there's a pretty big storm continuing on, currently going on throughout your area, and then we have this going to be pushing off to the east as well. So we're going to be paying attention to that very, very closely, as this will be definitely dropping some pretty heavy amounts of rainfall, still going to be continuing on. Heavy rainfall will be continuing. Then we take a look here at the severe thunderstorm warnings that are continuing on in these two areas right here. You can see with this severe thunderstorm warning, not much going on in this one, but you kind of can see it kind of cave, so it's kind of this area right here. I don't know why my pen keeps changing its thing, but very, very large thunderstorms still continuing to move off to the east here, and this will eventually make its way to Chattanooga, Tennessee as well. This will make its way to Chattanooga, and that will bring some pretty big thunderstorms there and pretty big severe winds possibly in there. We'll look at the velocity here shortly. The biggest concern right now and the worst of the storm seems to be more down here in the Alabama region here. And this is something that we're continuing to watch very closely, especially as it continues to get closer and closer to Georgia and crossing over into Georgia. So if you live, in Rome here, in Georgia, Atlanta especially, you guys will be getting these storms here probably in the next couple of hours. You guys will be getting this storm. And you can currently see right now that there's a lot of lightning, a lot of frequent lightning here. But I will say, with this, you can see not as much going on in the northern part here than the southern part of this storm. It's not just this area where severe thunderstorm warnings right now, the one that just popped up, New Mexico. Let's get over here into Missouri, though, because this has a tornado possible tag on it. See if I can get to the exact radar that we need. So it has a tornado possible on it here. Jefferson City, you guys are in that severe thunderstorm warning right now. The velocity signature, taking a look, not seeing anything exactly too big here, but you can definitely see, according to this velocity right here, winds are 70 mile an hour right there. Let's see if we can go to a different... Yeah, winds are definitely high with this storm, so definitely be keeping an eye on this right now. Hail is 0, which is good news there, but very large storm still bringing some pretty gusty winds, going to be bringing it into the Jefferson City area with a tornado possible. That right now is in Missouri, and then we have a new severe thunderstorm warning over here in New Mexico. And you can definitely see this storm just randomly popped up here. And we're seeing this storm going to be moving off very slowly down to the southeast. Not much going on with this storm, but maybe some hail that could possibly come in with that storm as well. So, but our main area is obviously going to be right over here with this severe weather threat zone, at least, a severe weather area. Chattanooga, Tennessee, getting ready to possibly be in, um, you know, some of these areas. And there's some flash flood warnings as well. Really, the biggest ones are in the New Hampshire area or the Northeast here. They've had a lot of rain lately. I mean, they've had this slow moving rain system here, and you can even see Boston is under a flash flood warning here and it's just going to continue. I mean, let's see here how much rain they've gotten there. You can see that right there. That's about half an inch, maybe to an inch of rain. Not much there. Let's see. So in the last hour, they've gotten, pretty big rainfall totals still continuing on to obviously, and I think good smart decision by the National Weather Service to issue a flash flood warning. And look at how populated this area is here, and it's radar indicated, but excessive rainfall pretty much is kind of going on right now. Not too much going on. No tornado warnings. That's good. No tornado warnings. Let's take a look at the Eastern Pacific really quick. As we're starting to get hurricane season going. Let's see what we can look at here. Touch on maybe some of that. Look at that. This could be issued here. We might be seeing something starting with this. We might be having something here for this storm. I'm wondering if they're going to be issuing advisories on it soon here, or if they'll do that a little bit later tonight, the one in the Eastern Pacific. I sure wonder. Yeah. All right, let's head back over here. Let's see kind of what we're looking at with Georgia. We're starting to see some severe thunderstorms continuing to move into Georgia now. Severe thunderstorm warning right now continues. 20 minutes remaining in this one. Considerable. Look at that. Damage threat considerable with the 70-mile-an-hour winds here. This is in the northern part. This is just south of Chattanooga. So very, very large storm going to be moving just south of Chattanooga with some pretty strong winds now that are being reported at 70 miles an hour. You can see the biggest, the wind threat right now hasn't even arrived. It's this back storm right here. This will make its way over here, and this will make its way into, let's see, Trenton. You guys are probably going to be next in line from this, and Lafayette, you guys are going to be as well. And we're just, paying attention to in the next couple of hours, Atlanta. You guys will be getting the possibility for some pretty big severe storms right now. But, it's nothing that's major. It's not going to be any tornado outbreak or anything like that. So that's always good news there. It's not going to be a tornado outbreak. It's not going to be anything major, but it's definitely something to pay attention to with that. And then obviously over here in the Northeast, you have the flash flooding threat that's going to be continuing. And then you have this general area that's just having random weather kind of going on here. So something little, small stuff that we're paying attention to still. Let's see. All right, let's see if we can go to the main radar here. Let's start off with the Northeast. Let's just go, kind of zone by zone here. So the Northeast, you can clearly see a lot of rainfall continuing on over here for the last day. It's been a very, very tough, day for everyone here. It's been very, very, very tough. Yeah. So yeah, we have some pretty big rainfall continuing, and you can see a couple flash flood warnings that are continuing on Massachusetts, New Hampshire. That's bringing some heavy amounts of rainfall. Really just it isn't moving very quick, so that's just kind of staying around in that general area right there. Heading down to the southeast, we can obviously see some scale. That's where our main area is right there. Our main where our eyes go to automatically. Not much going on throughout the rest of the southeast. Very quiet. Maybe some little thunderstorms kind of going on. Savannah, Georgia there. Maybe even heading into Jacksonville, Florida, North Carolina. You guys have some little scattered thunderstorms there. And let's see, keeping it over here, central, we're having some flash flood warnings in parts of northern Missouri due to all these big flooding threat that happened. Not too big of a big flooding threat, but, a lot of heavy rain. That's what I will say. Not too much going on right now around the United States, but obviously we are expecting that to change tomorrow. I mean, let's see if we can head into that severe weather threat for tomorrow. Yeah, look at that. Moderate risk here, and I actually had a video come out on this, but we have a moderate risk for tomorrow. Let's see if I can pull up the future radar here. Let's see. So taking a look right here, you can see, yeah, definitely the HRRR 1 a.m. We could see maybe some thunderstorms already continuing on over here, right there, and then just continues to move off right there. It doesn't seem like, so this will most likely be a tomorrow night issue. It's not going to be just a morning issue. It's going to be more of a night issue tomorrow night. We're going to see a little bit more kind of, that's when we're going to see a little bit more of the action kind of continuing, and that's when we're going to see a little bit more of the threat for these possible derecho. I mean, possible derecho will be heading through this area right here through Oklahoma. It's not including Oklahoma City, but I wouldn't put it past, still some pretty big storms could be going through the Oklahoma City region. Let's see if I can go back to the 18Z. Pretty recent. There we go. All right, let's see. So if we take a look here at the radar, look at that. So some pretty big storms that will go, early tomorrow morning, going into the later tonight. That will just continue to push off to the east. But look at this. I mean, this is pretty big storms here, and this is 7 p.m. tomorrow. 7 p.m. tomorrow, we're going to be seeing some pretty big storms that go through Oklahoma City here, and they're really going to be seeing some pretty big storms kind of in the moderate area, and that's kind of on the southern part of Oklahoma here, and it's kind of just the border of Texas and Oklahoma. But really, you can see that blue. That's some pretty big hail that we could be possibly expecting, and there is that big hail threat as well. But heading back into this, where let's see here, very large storms going to be going through the Oklahoma City, Wichita Falls, Dallas. You guys will be getting some of this as well. Pretty big wind threat as we go on tomorrow evening into tomorrow overnight hours. Very, very large and destructive, probably possible derecho. And I just made a video on that. Possible derecho. Has the derecho look, and probably most likely will have that wind. But I wonder, let's see here if we take a look at let's see. Yeah, not much of a tornado threat, but the wind could possibly be pretty significant here, and you can definitely see when it's more back here. So around tomorrow, kind of 8 p.m. Tomorrow 8 p.m., you can see Oklahoma City's up here. You're going to see majority of these storms. That's when the winds is really going to start to pick up. So not much of a tornado threat, but the winds could possibly reach over 80 miles an hour in some of these storms here, and that will be in the more of the big area here, the main area, at 8 p.m. tomorrow. Then we take a look here, that dashed line and that black outline, that is the significant to severe zone. That is something that we're going to be continuing to watch closely, because even though it's out of the pink zone there, it's still in the significant to severe, bringing some pretty big winds, and then obviously it'll head off into the yellow. But it's not just that. We're also going to be seeing some possibility for some significant hail as well, and we saw that already, kind of on the already on the blue. I mean, look at that shows a very, very big thunderstorm, and that will show a very large hailstones that could possibly fall from this storm. So still very, very destructive storms are expected tomorrow. Make sure if you guys have any questions, if you guys want to talk about the tropics or anything like that, just put it down in the chat below. Also, make sure to join the Discord. I mean, be one of the first people to join the Discord and all of that. We can get the Discord going. If you like talking about weather and all that, join the Discord. Join that Discord server. See if we can head back to some of these severe thunderstorm warnings. Considerable threats here for Chattanooga, Tennessee. 70-mile-an-hour winds are going to be heading for Chattanooga very soon. Probably here in the next 30 minutes, Chattanooga, Tennessee will be very, we'll just be very getting some pretty big storms here pretty shortly. Pretty shortly, we will be seeing some pretty big storms here heading into Chattanooga, and you can obviously kind of see on kind of what we're looking at with the Chattanooga, Tennessee. Probably, let's see if we can kind of get a little bit of a range here on when we could be seeing it here. I don't know. These storms don't seem like they're moving too quickly here. So, yeah, 70-mile-an-hour wind gust has been reported with this. So, it could be bringing some pretty big, could bring some trees down, could bring, roof, not like roof shingles. It could just, it's, damage likely, to mobile homes, roofs, and outer buildings here. That's what we could be paying attention to closely. Storm moving here, let's see, moving east at 45 miles an hour. So if we kind of draw it out here, actually, let's see if we can go to the velocity signature and see. Yeah, look at that. Ooh, look at that, the wind there. 45 miles an hour, that could possibly be heading at 56,000 people just kind of just south into the Chattanooga region there. We could be seeing something with some pretty big winds there that could be arriving here not too long, probably in the next, really, we're going to be seeing it here in the next probably 25 minutes, I would say. 25 minutes we're probably going to be seeing that. Getting a couple new PDS severe thunderstorm warning now. Let's see. Where's that PDS severe thunderstorm warning? Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah, right here. Look at that. 80-mile-an-hour winds right now are being reported with this destructive. This is the destructive storm here, and this storm is attached kind of with the Chattanooga storm. So this could be leading to a possibility here of some pretty major winds heading into Chattanooga. Trying to see here on more of the weather information. Trying to kind of see what I'm doing here. Want to make sure everyone can be prepared for this storm. This is a very big, severe thunderstorm here. So let's see if we can get back into this. So let's see if we can see. So there has been a new severe thunderstorm warning that I see has been issued right now. Severe thunderstorm warning. Oh yeah, and there's Chattanooga right now. Destructive storm right now going through, is getting ready to head through the Chattanooga area. So this is very, very dangerous situation. This is a destructive storm. Let's kind of read a little bit on what we're looking at. 80-mile-an-hour wind gusts here. That's over hurricane force. That is Category 1 hurricane force winds. Dangerous to those caught without shelter. So people need to take cover now, and power outages could possibly be likely. So we'll look at that here pretty soon. But very destructive storm right now is going to be heading through the Chattanooga region here in Tennessee. We're going to be seeing some of these storms. The major part of the storm going to be moving off to the east. It's going to be approaching very, very soon here, and we're going to be seeing some possibility for something pretty big to kind of just form here. We're going to be seeing a lot of that wind start to pick up here shortly. And you could see that here with the velocity signature. you can see with the velocity, these yellow areas, that is very, very large. I don't know what in the world is going on with the pen today. There we go. You can see very large yellow areas. These are some pretty high winds in these areas. I mean, even with the regular thunderstorm, we're still getting 25, 30 mile an hour wind gusts, but then you go to the yellow areas, that is where you're going to see the majority of it. And that's kind of what we're seeing, obviously, in the line of thunderstorms here. So in that line, that's what we're going to be seeing. I mean, we're seeing some pretty destructive winds already going to be approaching, and have been reported here of some pretty big winds. Pretty big winds. So if you know anyone that lives in Tennessee or in the Chattanooga area, make sure to share this with them, because this is a very destructive storm that we're looking at right now. 80 mile an hour winds, very, very destructive here. We could be seeing some power outages, some trees down. And this is going to be arriving here in the Chattanooga area very, very shortly. And we can kind of already see some of that, strongest storms are going to be moving off to the east still. But you can see it's kind of right on the Chattanooga doorstep here. And it should be arriving here probably here in the next 15 minutes. We're going to start seeing some impacts here. We're going to start feeling some impacts in Chattanooga. And we're going to be seeing some pretty big destructive winds going to be moving through your area, even down here to the south. Trenton, you guys just got through that storm right there. You guys could be paying attention to some of these strong winds as well. So some pretty strong winds could be heading through that area as well. Down to the south, we could be seeing some pretty big storms right now continuing on currently. I mean, we're going to be seeing this right now. Let's see. I'm trying to... So, severe thunderstorm warning is going to be continuing on in that destructive. I don't think any of the others. I think really apparently just over here in the northern part of the storm, it's the more destructive part of the storm here. It's more of the destructive part of the storm. And that's what we're obviously seeing, as we have a very populated area here of Chattanooga. So let's kind of see. So the storm's moving 45 miles an hour east here. And we can see right now very, very, just these winds are going to start picking up here very, very soon here in the Chattanooga region. Going to see some very large wind going to be going in through the Chattanooga area. So if you know anyone that lives in Chattanooga, please make sure that you are letting them know that there's a big storm right now on their doorstep. I mean, it is right now. Everyone needs to be inside. I hope that they're seeing it and they're heading inside if they are outside. And if you are driving, especially in this storm, please make sure you're pulling over and waiting for the storm to pass right now, because we got obviously some pretty big interstates that do go through some parts of Chattanooga. So we're seeing this storm continue to just ramp up with the wind. We were tracking it, and it was at 60 mile an hour winds, and right now we are not at 60 mile an hour winds. So very, very destructive storm right now going to be going through the Chattanooga region here. We're going to be seeing this go over here to the east, and we'll be continuing on. And I mean, that's just stretching all the way over here from, central Tennessee, going all the way down here into Alabama. This is now making its way also into western Georgia. So in the next few hours, Atlanta, Georgia could be dealing with some possibilities here of some pretty big winds as well. And we're getting close to having Atlanta possibly under a severe thunderstorm warning here pretty soon. Well, make sure you guys join the Discord server, though. Make sure you guys join the Discord server. It's in the chat. Make sure you guys join the Discord server so you guys can talk about all this type of stuff here. Talk about all this type of stuff, and you guys can, just, I think it's a great community to talk through, so.